This show's called Drewz Viewz. I'm doing Car Tuesday with Steven Universe, so check it out, okay? Now people love the verse, like, subscribe even. Now let's sit back and watch me watch it. Steven! Hey, we got Drewz Viewz here, and I'm back for a little Car Tuesday, reacting to cartoons, doing it on Tuesday. And today, it's the glorious return of one Steven Universe Future. We're back in the future here. The past of Car Tuesday, the near past, saw me reacting to book 3 of The Legend of Korra. I'll be getting to the book 4, once the Steven run is over. Also in the past, of course, I did the first 10 episodes of Steven Universe Future and the whole Steven Universe series up to this point. So check that out if you haven't yet. Go back and do that. Most of doing that series originally, I was well behind everyone, years behind. Now I'm basically all the way caught up. I'm only 2 days behind or whatever. So episode 11 and 12 of the future, gonna get into it right about now. Maybe do a quick little recap here. Been a couple months, I guess, since, or yeah, I don't know, maybe probably about around 2 months since the first 10 episodes aired, and I reacted to them at least. Steven wasn't really in the best place at the end of the last ones. He'd made some Cactus Stevens. They were like saying what his feelings were, or it was saying what his feelings were. Some problems with the gems and other things. In the episode prior to that, he had a problem with some of his friends leaving, or people leaving, and things not being the same. Basically, there's a whole deal with him wanting Lars and Sadie to be together when they're not. So he's got some issues. I mean, a lot of other things happened in the first 10 episodes. Just to finish the recap, I'm actually going to read a comment, though, from that reaction left by Jessica Geraci, who I know is a big Car Tuesday fan, or commenter at least. So she has a pretty long comment here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just the start of it is pretty clear that this season is about the psychological consequences of a child having to take on responsibilities that they shouldn't have to. A lot of kids shows have kids as the protagonists doing all this crazy stuff that the adults should be the ones handling. So it's interesting to see the show explore what that type of personality could do to a kid psychologically. It's almost a perfect example of Atlas personality, which, if you look it up, describes Steven to a T in this episode. I'm assuming those 9 and 10 episodes there. And in the Prickly Pear episode, she's talking about Steven venting all his frustration to a living cactus that spilled all his problems to the gems, etc., etc. And she's saying that he probably needs therapy and things like this. So, but it is an interesting point that, this is kind of like an epilogue series, I guess, to Steven Universe. And it is the thing where the original series did have all this crazy stuff and so much stuff that he went through, and dealing with things that a normal kid or person in general doesn't have to deal with. So now even though things are relatively calm around, there's still some issues around the universe and all that, but relatively calm to how it was, especially with these diamonds in line here, that he's dealing with more internal issues now and the effect everything had on him. And I'm sure there's going to be some external stuff coming up with the rest of the future season here, some antagonists and things like that. But yeah, obviously a lot of it still has to do with Pink there, who is him essentially in a way. So the first 10 episodes of this season so far, that's been popping up. He's got his pink glow coming out and all that stuff. So we shall see. Enough chatter from me up top, though. I really want to just pop right into episode 11 here. So let's go on and do it. All right, so Pearl and Big Bismuth, huh? it's interesting, I guess. I'm trying to think of their interactions in the past, like when Bismuth was reintroduced and everything. I can't think of anything specific, any moments they had together previously or whatever. Obviously, Bismuth initially was upset that they all had changed, but now she's, with their war against the gems and whatever, or the diamonds, or rather, but now that things are different, she's more chilled out and she knows what's going on now, and she's liking the change from Pearl. Pearl obviously has changed a lot, just even since the beginning of this show. Forget about the past thousands of years before that. Being her own person, well, not her own gem, whatever, separating from the pink diamond stuff or the rose stuff, and coming out of her clamshell a bit. But yeah, obviously, it's something people would take notice of, and Bismuth, I guess, has. That Pearl is, she's always been my favorite, so I can't be too surprised there. It'll be interesting to see if they do go down this road of some type of romantic relationship plotline. We'll see. Pearl's doing fine now, doing her thing, having fun with her new friends. And then, of course, back to Steven. Still struggling, although this was a good moment for him, reconnecting with Connie a bit, and a good moment for me and all the viewers reconnecting with Connie. Like I was just saying, I didn't know she was going to be in this one. It was going to be an episode featuring her heavily. I'm glad it was, though, because I was wanting that. I guess she's been in this cram school thing, which I'm not really sure what that is. Is that a real thing? It probably is, but college prep or whatever, I guess. What is she supposed to be, like a sophomore in high school now or something like that? Steven still hasn't picked up on what school is, especially yet. And yeah, the roller skating thing's kind of funny. Like I would, with all the other stuff Steven's into, I would have thought he would know how to roller skate, or that would be something he would be into already. Something that Greg would have taken him to growing up. I guess not, and maybe that's part of not going to school, because you do have parties as a kid, like roller skating rinks and stuff. At least I did when I was a kid. I don't know if that's a thing that still happens necessarily with kids these days. I don't think there's as many rinks or whatever. I don't know, what are these kids having Fortnite parties or something? I don't know, I'm old. But yeah, good to see Steven breaking out of the, not being awkward around everyone. It was an interesting comparison with him and Bismuth, having to reacquaint themselves with society a little bit. And obviously this whole future, like Jessica was kind of saying in her comment, this whole future season has been about this kind of plot line of Steven's psychology, essentially, from dreams to human/gem interactions to everything else, to taking everything in that happened to him. So wouldn't have necessarily thought that was going to be the case going into it, but I see that it definitely is the main thing we're dealing with here. I guess there's going to be at least 20 episodes in the season. There's 8 more coming in this run. I don't know if that's the end of it or there's going to be more. We don't know yet. Maybe someone can tell me if it's been announced, but it seems like, maybe there won't be a general overall antagonist here, and this is like the epilogue, Steven's character development this season here. I mean, I still think there will be some type of antagonist or something to fight other than just his own feelings and psychology and emotions, but like Peridot said in the first episode, the story needs conflict, but not that this isn't conflict, but maybe some external conflict here. So I'll look forward to seeing that potentially, but great jumping back into the future here. Really enjoyed both those. I mean, look, we had Peridot, Connie, and Pearl featured heavily. Possibly my 3 favorite characters, so I was gonna be happy with that. I hope to see more of our friends next time in episode 13 and 14. Do join me back for that next Card Tuesday. Do subscribe to the channel here if you're not already. Leave comments, do anything like that. And until next time, I'm up out of here. Peace.
You can go on without me. I'll catch up.